All right. For today's lesson, it's short, but you're looking at dilemmas with liberties. And in particular, we're building off of some of the research you did last week with your project. And we're going to be talking about freedom of speech. It's very short, the part of the Constitution, the First Amendment that we're looking at. But all we know is that per the Constitution, they could never abridge the freedom of speech. Abridge is a fancy word for shorten or stop. So, in regards to that, the one general type of speech that we need to understand is obscene material. Now, I'm sure none of you use obscenities, I'm sure none of you use bad language, but it's one of those categories that does cause a lot of debate. Like in the video you guys saw yesterday with the Westboro Baptist Church, there's many, many examples where one group's speech is deemed rude, cruel, whatever adjective you want to use. It's basically not liked by others. This case, Miller v. California, is significant in that it played a huge role in establishing what obscenity means. You could look it up later if you want, but really for our class, the most important thing we need to do is understand is that the Supreme Court would actually interpret and create this new rule. They said you can only ban or restrict obscenity if it lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. And from that, political scientists have developed the acronym SLAPS. So that's the S, the L, the A, the P, and the S. Now, with regards to SLAPS, I experienced it firsthand. The summer before my senior year of high school, I was in New York. I was with my mom and little brother. We were visiting my mom's dad, my grandpa. It was only the second time ever I got to meet him. And the reason why I got to understand what SLAPS was, one day on our vacation, I got to choose where to go. And I said, let's go to the Guggenheim Museum. I heard it's really famous. It has this cool structure where it spins and spins. Unknown to me, and basically I shocked the whole family when we got to the Guggenheim. The majority of the museum that summer was dedicated to the beauty of the human body. So we're talking videos, sounds, painting. There might have been some tangible exhibits, but it was definitely a cringy experience for me having to run through it with, again, my grandpa, only the second time I ever met him, my uncle and his 2-year-old daughter. So it was definitely a moment where I realized, obscenity, things that are maybe not commonplace, definitely are protected. SLAPS is the same reason why in your history classes you might look at paintings from the Renaissance of the naked body. It's the same reason why in science classes you might look at depictions of naked body parts. Again, it's not because it's obscene or pornographic. There's some merit, some value in it. Now, in regards to a case that deals with SLAPS, and it came just a couple years after Miller v. California, this guy was wearing a denim jacket in a courtroom. He wasn't on trial for anything. He just happened to be there. But he got in trouble because his jacket, said F the draft. But it wasn't bleeped out. So it said the full bad word. He gets arrested because in California, they actually had a law that prohibited the malicious and willful disturbing of the peace by offensive conduct. So basically what the California court said was this jacket was willfully disturbing the peace. He actually got convicted. He had to serve 30 days in jail for this. Now, the reason why the case is significant is this guy, last name was Cohen, he would challenge the case and say, hey, you shouldn't have arrested me. This was against the Constitution. This is against my First Amendment liberties. It would go all the way to the Supreme Court. And what do you know? They would defend the individual. They would say, you're right. This was not an extreme example. The key thing to add to your notes, it's in the light blue. The First Amendment protects all forms of expressions that are emotional and cognitive, so ideas or expression of ideas, and it further strengthens SLAPS. And so with these early interpretations of the First Amendment in the 1970s, we could see, like in the video you all watched yesterday, how it has gone even further in protecting the rights of the minority.